Good morning. I'm Kimberly Edwards with cookingwithkimberly.com, and today I'm just starting my day out and I'm looking to get my tea intake. You already know how much I love tea. Now today I'm going to cover another kind of tea and how to brew the perfect cup of white tea. Now white tea actually comes from the exact same plant as green and black tea. However, it's processed differently. It's instead of being allowed to go much further and being processed and stuff like that, white tea is taken, it's allowed to wither naturally on the plant in the sunlight. The white tea comes, the white part, why they say it's white, is because it not only comes from the tea leaves, but it also comes from the buds of the tea. And the buds of the tea have fine white hairs on them, and that's why they call it white tea. Now, it typically comes from China. It comes from the Fujian province. And today I'm going to show you how to make a lavender tea. It's a white tea with lavender flowers in it. I love the taste of lavender and the smell of lavender. I've been talking about that with you for quite some time, and now I finally get to show you. Now, white tea, again, I always say the three things about tea is the quality of the tea that you're using. Number two is the brew time and the brew temperature. Now, white tea is a very delicate tea, as you can probably gather from what I'm telling you. And the brew temperature is down to 80 degrees. There's my timer, hold on. Now down to 80 degrees, which means what you're gonna do is you're gonna boil your pot, you're gonna boil your water in the kettle or on your stove, and you're gonna set the timer for 5 minutes so that it can cool down a little bit. And that's what just happened. That was my 5-minute timer. Now, with the white tea is a very delicate flavor. So I don't put honey in it because honey has a very distinct flavor. When I sweeten my white teas, I typically use just plain white sugar. I know it's not the greatest thing for you, but it doesn't seem to mess with the delicate flavor. Now it's a very delicate flavor to me. So the next thing is how much you're going to use, right? So you're going to use 1.5 teaspoons for 1 8-ounce cup of tea. So that's like one mugful, right? I always drink big mugs, so I make a big pot of tea. Now, in a pot, there's about 4 cups of tea. That's just in my teapot now. I'm using this little handy-dandy clear one. I'm using loose leaf tea. Again, here's my little filter. You can use those little aluminum dippy things. Those work too. So I'm just gonna measure out 6 teaspoons into my filter of this beautiful tea. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This lavender is one of my very favorite herbs and plants. I love it. I could sleep on a whole pillow of lavender. I just love the smell so much. And I wish that you could see. I'm going to try and see if you can see how pretty it is with the blossoms. It's very bright purple. It's so pretty. It smells. I wish you had smell-o-vision because you would really want that today for sure. All right. Now the next thing is the brew time. Now white tea, it's delicate. Now with delicate teas such as green teas or white teas, you're only going to want to allow it to steep for about 2 to 3 minutes. Now I always err on the side of doing it a little not as long, because I really don't want it to get bitter, or I don't want to wreck the whole flavor, right? The whole vibe of what's going on. So what I'm going to do now, here's my kettle of hot water, and I'm just pouring it on top of my tea, filling it up. Let that steep for a second. I'm going to start my timer as soon as I get all my water in here. It takes a little time. The lavender blossoms in this particular tea actually plump up very nicely, but it also doesn't allow the water to filter through as fast, which is fine. It's just something you have to be aware of. Now, white teas, you can get them with all different kinds of flavoring or with no flavoring, just plain old white tea. Now, white tea is extremely good for you. It does come from the same plant as black and green tea, so it has a lot of the same chemical properties and a lot of the same health benefits. Now, this helps, white teas help in fighting cancers and carcinogens. not even just when you have it, but the formation of tumors even. It helps with funguses. It helps with even dental plaque. It helps your immune system. It even helps animals' immune systems. In individuals that have their immune system compromised, it does help. It helps all kinds of things. If you just Google white tea, you'll check it out. Maybe check it on Wiki or something like that, and you'll get a plethora of knowledge of what is good for. Just know it's good for you in many, many ways. In fact, it might even be better for you than many of the other things I've seen about other teas. So I'm just going to let this steep. Now this is a beautiful color. It's ever so faint. Well, it's white tea, right? It's not going to get really dark. It doesn't have those tannins that stain your teeth either. Now, tannins are what makes black tea, rooibos tea, darker in color. Rooibos has less tannin than black tea. But black tea is what stains your teeth. Now, when I drink black teas, I typically drink milk with it. Now, milk, when mixed with the tannins, it coagulates, which means it becomes like this little ball, and it no longer wants to stick to your teeth. So that keeps your teeth from getting stained, just a little bit of milk in your tea. Now I have 30 seconds left, and I'm going to taste this for you. I can't wait. I have just plain old white sugar today. There we go. It smells like a flower garden. I grow lavender in my garden regularly, every year, a couple different varieties usually, and it's a very French ingredient to use, the lavender. It's typically in the spice mix herbe de Provence, and it's beautiful on chicken and fish, rabbit, lamb. Okay, here we go. Make sure you have your little handy dandy cup to help your counter from not being so messy. There we go. I'm just going to strain this out. This color is delicate. Everything about this tea is very delicate. It smells of lavender like crazy, and I really, really like the lavender with the white tea. It's also a very delicate flavor. Okay, see how light in color that is? You can see that. It's almost a little bit purpley, a little bit yellowy, tiny bit. It's gorgeous in my cup. All right. It's going to be very hot. So experiment with different teas, guys. Like, you might not have even known there were so many different kinds of teas to try and different ways to do them, and the ways to prepare them are very different in order to get a proper cup of tea. So this is how to make a proper cup of white tea. Again, you're going to use 1.5 teaspoons per 1 cup. You're going to allow your hot water to cool down to about 80 degrees, which is about 5 minutes-ish. And you're only going to brew it for about 2 minutes. Oh man, that smells good. Wow. That is so yummy. I really wish that you could have taste-o-vision, I guess. That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? All right, everybody. Gee, try that. I'm going to enjoy that. I'm going to give my mom a cup and get ready for the rest of my day. I hope you guys check me out on YouTube, youtube.com/cookingwithkimberly. Check me out on Twitter. Follow me at cookingwithkime with a capital E. And go to my Facebook fan page, facebook.com/cookingwithkimberly. I hope you guys eat and drink deliciously. Have a marvelous day. Ciao.